Sering and I have reached the Lotse phase, and it's going to be a very challenging Jumaring all the way 600 meters to Camp 3. Almost ready for a summit course.
So that was 60 life-threatening days, 30 lakhs of hard-earned money in 4 minutes of fast-moving video. So if you read the heading, I'm not going to talk about how I went up to the Everest, but I'm going to talk about the Everest before the Everest. So why even Everest? So, I missed a mountain flight in Kathmandu in 2011, and sheer disappointment, and the first thought that came to my mind was, hey, why the hell should I see Everest from a flight, but I rather see the world from its peak. And that gave me goosebumps that day, and that continued my journey. But I was financially broken to the core, because even though I was a technology professional, nobody taught me the right way to financially balance things. So I was a avid spender, spent a lot on liabilities, bought a lot of, musts or, wants rather than needs. And it was a mess. And when I was in 2011, it was a financial collapse for me. You name the loan, I had it. Okay? You name the way of borrowing money, I had used it. Okay? Every card company that used to call me and say, we want to offer you a card, please welcome. Please, give me a card. So that was my state, running month to month, balancing the EMIs with, the entire salary used to go for EMIs, then spend the credit card interest, and then continue to swipe the credit card for family groceries and for my kids' education. So it was a pretty terrible mess, I would say. And this is my journey into how I transformed that financial crisis, because there was a dream behind me that was moving me forward. The dream of Everest was there, subconsciously driving me a lot of things. So I learned 3 things over the last 11 years. You need 3 P's: patience, perseverance, and positivity to do anything big in your life. Anything, be it scoring good in your exams, be it securing a wonderful job. You need just these 3 P's. Why do you need patience? Because some dreams can take a long time to materialize. My dream took 11 years. And you need to be able to hold on to your dreams very tightly. In our Purans, they would say the rishis used to sit and meditate for years together, and then Brahma, Vishnu, or Maheshwar appeared. What does that literally mean to you? That means they held on to their belief for so long to be able to see God. Okay, so even today we do something called, before when we go to the temples, the priests do some, thing. They tell, okay, remember what you want to achieve, right? And we remember that, and then the puja happens, right? So patience is very, very much required, And I knew that I would not be able to solve my financial crisis in a day. Okay, so patience is a very, very important attribute to achieve anything big in your life. Perseverance. What does it mean? You need to be able to do the same thing day in and day out. And doesn't mean that even if things are not working, you do the same thing. No, perseverance also means to be able to adapt to changes and then do things. And positivity, right? I can't emphasize on this, but positivity is very much important, because some of your dreams, I always believe that you shouldn't tell it to anybody. You should hold it on very close to your chest, some of your biggest dreams, because people can't spoil what you don't know, right? Because if I tell my dreams to somebody else, the first thing is, hey, why do you want to do it? If I told my dream about Everest to my mother, she would have said, who will lit fire when I'm gone? Right? So some of the big dreams, hold it to yourself, and that is what gives positivity. Because you don't have to listen to a lot of negative, comments or the pulling down from a lot of people. So positivity, I stopped blaming my luck, because luck was my favorite word. If something didn't work, man, I'm unlucky, man. Look at that guy, he's so lucky. And I started realizing a different meaning for luck, a definition that I said, I think luck is a marriage between preparedness and opportunity. You may be well prepared, but you may not have the opportunity, so you'll have to wait for it. That's why patience is needed. And sometimes the opportunities will be flying past you, and you may not be prepared, and that is where you need preparation. So for me, these days, luck is a marriage between what? Opportunity and preparedness. And destiny is something that probably we can all create, right? There is a karma, obviously. I don't want to get into the details of it, but you can write what you really want to be. Okay? Your future, you don't have to go to an astrologer to get to know your future. You can write it and transpire towards it. Okay, so a lot of positivity, patience is needed, positivity is needed, perseverance, well educated. I'm an IIMB graduate. I hold a degree in artificial intelligence and machine learning from Texas University. And I was in a job which I would call it as my comfort zone. It would not pay me sufficient, but I was sticking on to it because so happy that I got a job. Right? I didn't want to get out of my comfort zone. And when I realized that I need to first clear out my debt, right? That is when I realized I need a better paying job, a job that can give me some stock initiatives. And that is where I started reskilling myself. And then it took me almost 15 months to get onto another wonderful job. So sometimes progress is slow, but you need to be able to have that perseverance to do what is needed at that moment. And perseverance, I think, also builds discipline, according to me, right? Because anything that you need to do, you need discipline. So I learned a lot of discipline of financial management, right? Started clearing out all my debts, starting with the credit cards, then the EMIs, then, it started moving. And a lot of times what we tell is, when we have a big dream to achieve, we say, hey, paisa nahi hai. I get a lot of messages on Instagram. How do I climb Everest? I don't have money, right? That's the biggest excuse one can give, right? You need to find ways to make money. And in this case, I didn't know what sponsorship was. I didn't know what crowdfunding was. But I knew that this is my dream, this is my passion, and I need to fund it myself. Period. Plain and simple. Okay? So it took me a good amount of time, but I was able to get out of my financial crisis pretty quickly. I was able to accumulate sufficient funds from a stage where I didn't even have an emergency fund for 1 month, I was able to build a financial stability for 5 years by 2018. Okay, so it took me a good long 3 to 5 years to build that financial stability. And when you work like a donkey, you become a bull. Okay, so I was so engrossed in my work, traveling across the world, right, trying to get everything organized, and I had become a bull. And today, people expect that they go to the gym today and transform tomorrow. That doesn't going to happen, my friends, right? You can't take shortcuts. Shortcuts are also short-lived, okay? So you need to work hard. It took me almost 1.5 years to reach from left to right. Wonderful journey. So I've stayed fit, and I think I feel like I'm a 30-year-old guy. I'm 52 today, this year. So it feels good. So purpose. I just want to shift topic and say, hey, what is my purpose in life? I don't know, right? And I'm very happy to say I struggle from attention deficit hyperactive disorder, ADHD. And it was only diagnosed when I was 45 years old. So I do not know what my purpose is. And even if God comes and tells me tomorrow, hey, your purpose is to build a wonderful school for kids, I will say how to do it. I won't pursue it. So what I've learned as my purpose is, whatever you do it with a lot of passion. Okay? And that is what I've started doing. Whatever I take up, I do it with a lot of passion. I define the success criteria very clearly. There is no ambiguity in my success criteria. Okay? And apart from that, I also climb. And in mountains, my success criteria is very, very simple. And it allows me to take some of the toughest decisions before anything can go wrong. And that success criteria is getting back to family, one piece, fully alive. All fingers intact, not in a coma. That's my success factor. So, on the 15th of May 2022, at the age of 50, I was on top of Everest. And, it was a long dream coming to reality, 11 years old dream. And it felt good. And I feel, I'm proud of this photo, right? It's like I'm enlightened on top of Everest. No signs of, tiredness or no signs of fatigue, right? Really enjoyed the climb. The blue skies, the weather were great. And nothing happens without your supportive family. So I'm financially clear. Everest helped me to get out of my debts. Okay? While I climbed Everest, but it also made me clear my debts. It made me achieve a lot of things. The journey was wonderful. And yeah, and we all talk about the Sherpas, yes, right? But family is very important because, when we go out to climb in 8,000er, it's like a one-way street. You know that you're going out, but there is no guarantee that you will come back, right? It's like the Javans there, the family. So you need a supportive family who can say, yeah, we know that you may not come back, but we still allow you to go. So every time I go out, my wife gets a wonderful present in the form of a small USB stick, which has all my account details, in case if I don't come back, and she accepts that, right? So this is what happened to me. So Everest was one part of it, but behind the scenes, a lot of transformations happened in my life. Thank you so much for listening.